Okay, good morning, everybody. Today, like I told us before, we are going to discuss, like I told us before, we are going to discuss Linux Server Administrator, Linux Server Administrator. You know, what we've done so far in our last 4 or 5 classes or so is the Windows Server Administration, which is the graphic user interface, which means you're able to see everything you are doing. For example, this is my computer. Let me share my screen. Okay, this is my computer, for example. So I'm able to, for example, you want to create a file. Let me go to my desktop now. Let me go to my desktop. If you want to create a folder here, what do you do from your desktop? You right click, is that not so? You go to new. You understand? If it's a folder or a document, you just navigate your cursor to that place. For example, folder, you click on folder, you can name it. Let me name this one Damilola folder. Damilola folder. You know, what we are used to, every one of us, all these things you are saying is what is the graphic user what interface. Let me open my whiteboard. I'm trying to look for my whiteboard so I can switch it on. Okay. I think I have to stop sharing to see the whiteboard. Okay. Okay, you all can see my whiteboard, Abby. Can you all see the whiteboard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see it right.
Okay. So, like I said before, what we have been doing so far is what the graphic words, user what interface. Graphic user what interface, which is refers to as the what? It refers to as the what? The GUI. You understand? That is the graphic user interface. Your phone is graphic user interface, the laptop, the Windows. The Windows 10, the Windows operating system generally is referred to as the what? The graphic user interface. But as a network administrator, because what we are actually looking at is not to be managing server locally for cyber cafe. I don't believe that is the reason why any of us are here. No, that's not why we are here. Or to go into one small building and be managing this thing for one small, that is not why we are here. We are here basically because of enterprise network, like I told us before. Enterprise network are what? Are servers that are what? Operated on what? On cloud. And most of the resources, let me say 80% of the resources on cloud makes use of what? Of your Linux. They make use of your what? Your Linux operating system. Linux operating system. I'm going to send us a note after this class on the Linux server administration, so you get to see it. And whatever command will be running, I will also send us a note on it. But as you are practicing, you can make your own separate notes and have your own personal notes. You understand? Because after my trainer taught us, I developed my own notes from his own notes. So please, to give you a better understanding, make sure as you are practicing, you're also creating your own notes. So we are going to be looking at the Linux operating system today. The Linux operating system is referred to as the what? The command line what? Interface, which is referred to as what? The CLI. Sorry. CLI. So this is our focus, because going forward, and this is what we are going to be using all through the end of this class. We are going to be running a lot of command, like Messi said, magic. Is that not what you said? So we are going to be running a lot of magic from today. In fact, in the next 5 minutes, we are going to be running a lot of magic now. So, but the good thing is, when you start using Linux operating system, you will no longer like this again. This graphic user interface, you will not like it again. Because the Linux operating system is so sweet. It's a very fantastic operating system. I can tell you that. You understand? And the command line interface that we are talking about, we have different command line interface. We have the Unix. Okay, we have the Unix. Okay, let me delete this. Okay. We have the Unix. We have the Unix. We have the Mac OS. We have the what? The Linux, etc., etc. But what we are most interested in is this. So the Linux is originated from Unix. I think I've forgotten the finder of this Linux. I'll find out later and send it to us on the group page. The Linux is what is a modified version of the Unix what operating system. The Unix operating system is also a command line interface. The Mac OS terminal is also what a command line interface. The Linux operating system is what a modified version of the Unix operating system. Being that the Unix operating system is a closed source. When I say a closed source, for some of us that are familiar with GitHub, Abubakar, you should be familiar with GitHub.
Yes, I am.
You know, there's what we call the closed suppository and open suppository on GitHub. In a repository, you can fork, but those that are closed, you cannot fork the content of that repository. Don't worry, when we get to DevOps, you will understand what the gist of the GitLab, what they are used for. You understand? So the Linux is what a modified version, a more defined version of what the Unix. And one advantage, because when you see most organizations, what almost 100% are using in command line interface. In fact, 90% of organizations, they make. I'm sorry, guys. I think my network went off. I don't know what happened. Can you all hear me?
I know what.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened. I just went off instantly. That's serious, sir. So let me share the whiteboard again. Okay. So this is our whiteboard. I thought maybe my data had been expired because I have few that I'm waiting for the guy that was supposed to reach. Still waiting for him to send the data to me. I know I still have like 1.something gig. Okay. So like I said before, we're interested in the world within us operating
Out of me.
Okay, we are interested in the Linux operating system. So for the Linux operating system, why are those organizations using the Linux operating system? Because Linux is what? An open source. That is why it's being used. Linux is an open source. Linux is what? More secure. And Linux is cheap. Linux is what? Is fast. Etc., etc. You understand? But everything revolves around what? This because why you are being what's called as a network administration is for the purpose of one, security, to ensure that you're able to secure their server and to ensure that you help them to minimize cost. That is why you are there. And also to ensure that you deliver fast and reliable resources as effective as it can be with minimal lagging period. So when they ask you, okay, and maybe you go for an interview, why Linux operating system? Why do you tell? They can ask you which operating system can you use to administer server? You tell them Linux. And they can ask you why Linux, why not Windows? You tell them because Linux is an open source, Linux is secure, Linux is cheap, Linux is fast. And because of these three major reasons, security, cheap, and fast, that is the concern of every organization employing a network administrator. Security, reduce cost of operation, and deliver fast and reliable resources very effectively. That is why we make use of the Linux operating system. Now, let's go to our computer so that we'll see what we are going to be doing. Okay, let me close this whiteboard. Like when you go to your computer, you know, like the command line we run on our computer while we are trying to ping this server. This is a what? And this is a command line interface. You understand? Your command prompt on your normal computer is a command line interface. Do you know that I can create a file under this place without going to my desktop? You understand? Going to using the graphics interface. So I can also create what? My file, do everything I'm doing, download file using my command line what? Interface. But this is what? The Windows operating system command line. But what we are interested in is the what? Is the Linux. And I remember telling us that we should create an account on what? AWS. How many of us has done that? Messi, Inkechi, Damilala, you were not there. Abubakar and Jeremiah. Have we all created our AWS accounts?
Not yet, sir.
The one of
Not
Jeremiah
yet.
and Abubakar. Okay. So please try and create it doesn't take you more than 1 minute to create your AWS accounts. You understand? Just try and make sure you create your AWS account. So I'm going to log in. So
Okay.
my AWS accounts so that we'll spin up a server. You see all those servers that we spin up that we used almost, is it not 3 days or 2 days to spin up our Windows? So you see the difference now on cloud. So let's spin up. Okay, before we spin up a server, sorry, I forgot something. There is an app that provides, let me say, an environment for the command line interface. There is an app that provides an environment for command line interface. I think one of them is the mobile. This thing I'm using, the VS Code. You all remember this Visual Studio Code setup I used to type before? This app is one of the apps. You understand? One of the app is the VS Code. Let me open it. Let me open it and see and show you what it looks like. Can you all see my screen?
No, sir, I cannot see your screen. No.
Oh, sorry.
Sir, your screen. We are not seeing your screen.
Oh, sorry. Let me share the screen now. Okay. Okay, this is a Microsoft Visual Studio Code, Microsoft VSC. You can also download the bets. I'm more interested in the Mobile X10, the app called Mobile X10. That's what we are going to be using to spin up our server. So this is what, okay, for server manager, click firewall, turn firewall, input gateway server IP. Okay, we are not interested in this. Okay, this is our old note now. This was the initial note we created before now. So this is what you can log in for those that are using Mac operating system. You understand? For those that are using Mac operating system, there is a way you can set, you can what connect to your server. It's called secure shell connection using the what your terminal. This is it here. You just click on terminal, new terminal. You understand? If you click on new terminal, this is the terminal below. So you can type and do whatever you want to do below it. But we are not interested in this. This is terminal. Okay. Okay. So before, let's close this. We don't really need this for now. I actually use that for my web development. There's a website I'm creating. So I'm actually using this VS Code to run my HTML file. So it's actually using running HTML file. When we'll actually get there in our next 2 classes, we'll get into HTML, how to upload content inside the website. So for the sake of this lecture, the machine that is used is called Mobile X10 download 64 bits. You see it here, Mobile X10 download. You click on it. It's a machine that provides an avenue for your operating system. So when you go to download, you click on download. I've already downloaded it. This one is not going to waste much time, just in 1 minute. So click on download, but I'm not going to click on download now. You are seeing it. Let me go back again. You search for mobile extend download 64 bits on your Google. Then you go to download. This is the download here. You click on the download. It will take you here. Then you download the home edition free. Because this one you have to pay for it. But if you know you have money to pay, you can go ahead and download this one. But since me, I don't have money, I have to come here and click on what? Download. Click on download. I'm not clicking it. You start downloading automatically. So, okay, let me use it. Let me click on it, download. 64 bits home edition. It's portable, okay? Just go ahead and click it. You see, it has already was downloaded. So after downloading, you go to your File Explorer, go to your download. This is it here. Where is it? Okay. You open it. You click on this. This is the application. You understand? You click on it. You extract. You see it. You can extract or run based on what you want. But let me extract. Extract. Replace this file destination, okay? Because I already have it on my laptop, that's why. You know how to install your normal application on your laptop. Just click, follow prompt, and just install. So you can just create a shortcut. You can copy this to your what? Desktop. You can copy, you understand, paste to your desktop, you understand? So that when you want to access, you can easily access it. Okay, now I asked us to create our account on AWS. Please, we have to go back and do that for some of us that have not created it. And the website for that is aws.amazon.com. I posted this website on our group page. So Amazon, AWS, Amazon Web Service.amazon.com. AWS actually provides what? A virtual world server, enterprise server for what? For organization. So in AWS, AWS will provide the memory. AWS will provide the machine. AWS will provide the computing power. Everything we are going to do, everything is on what? Is on cloud. You know, like what we did on our virtual machine, we have to be assigning IP manually. You understand? We have to be creating this, creating that, setting up a lot of things. No. But AWS, the services are what? Are already what? Automated on what? On cloud. So I already have my account. I'm signing into the what? The console. So you click on sign to the console. When you click on sign to the console, for some of us that don't have accounts, when you click on sign to the console, please, you come here and click create AWS account. Click create AWS account. So you follow prompt, you understand? Your email address, AWS account name, if it's Messi, your surname, you understand? Just verify email address and you follow prompts. You understand? Just follow the point. If you ask for your card details, I think there's one money they will charge you, like very small, like 200 naira. They will charge you and credit you back instantly just to verify the card, your payment method. So just go ahead and create your account. But yeah, I'm signing into AWS because I already have my what? AWS account. So I'm signing in as what? Root user. I have my email address. You sign in as root user. Then you click next. Then my password. So this is what your AWS console looks like. I have all these things here because these are the services I've used. My most recent was services. So it's going to display them here. But your own is not going to look like this. You understand? Because you just, okay, let me reset to default layout. Just reset to default layout. It will work. Okay. That is not added. Just leave it. It's not necessary. So this is our AWS console. So there are a lot of, let me say, like 800 and something, or even more than up to 1,000 services on AWS cloud. So we are going to be using some of these services in the course of this lectures. So you search for your EC2. EC2 is what? Your elastic cloud what? Computing. That is where we spin up what? Our server on cloud. It's referred to as what? EC2. Elastic what? Cloud computing. So you click on your what? EC2. Just allow it to run. You click on your EC2, okay? You click on your what? Instances. Instances are your what? Are your computers. Do you have any computer running? No. You click on your instances. You click on launch an instance. So you see all the procedure we are doing. We are spinning up server, 1 million server, 2 million server, 2 million this thing on manually. That took us a lot of time. So let's give it a name. Let's give it, you give your computer, your server a name. Let's name it Linux server. Linux server, sorry. Linux server. So it's asking us now, what is the operating system you are going to use? You select the Amazon Linux. The Amazon what? Linux. You know, we have various distribution of what? Of Linux. We have the Amazon Linux, we have the Red Hat, we have the Ubuntu, we have the CentOS. I think there are like 7 or so. Also, I think it's in our notes, it's in the notes I will send to us. So we have various what distribution, just like on your Windows 10, you have Windows 10 operating system. You know, under the Windows 10 itself, you have different types, 3 types of operating system that are divided into 3 classes. You have the Windows 10 Home Edition, you have the Windows 10 Enterprise, and we have the Windows 10 Pro. In your Windows 11 too, it's divided into various classes. You have Windows 2016, we have Windows 2019, we have Windows 2022 now. We have Windows 8, Windows 7 in those days, various type of what? Of Windows operating system, various distribution. So also is your what? Your Linux. You also have what? Your various distribution of Linux. This is one of them, Amazon Linux. We have Mac OS, we have Ubuntu, we have the Red Hat, we have the CentOS. They are very plenty. You understand? SUSE is another type of Linux. We have the Debian is another type of Linux. So they are what? They are very, very what? Plenty. But what we are interested in is the what? The Amazon what? Linux. So don't worry, we'll still use this Ubuntu later. We use this Amazon Linux and we also use Ubuntu. This Amazon Linux, I read that they have almost 99.9% what? Similarities. So if you're able to use the Amazon Linux, you should be able to make use of the what? Of the Red Hat Linux. So it's asking us, the next thing is asking us, Amazon machine image, free tire. Please just leave it on the free tire. With this one, you're not paying for it. If you take anything outside this, Amazon is going to debit you your what? Your card. So please leave this one as your what? As your free tire. I think we have 800 hours for the year. Now you can use for 1 year, 800 hours. You can spin up your server for 800 hours. So this is free tire. It's asking us 64-bit. We are more interested in the 64-bit. So leave it like that. The architecture of your computer. You know, like I told us before in our Windows Server administration, we are asked to set up the machine image to your what? 64-bit, where we are trying to what? To create a domain. So you leave it like that. Then this is the memory, T2 micro, 1 gig memory, which is the RAM. So you leave it like that, free tire. So Amazon provides all the what? All the resources. So you leave it as the what? As the free tire. Please don't touch it. Because if you change this, you're going to be debited for all the services you are using. So this is your free tire, you leave it there. So the key pair, we are going to create a key pair. The key pair is your what? Security. That is why we say Linux is what? Is secured. You know, like your Windows Server administration now, if someone asks password to your computer, they will be able to access your computer. But in Amazon, we make use of your what? Key. Which refers to as well your key pair. Your key pair is more like what? Your key. You use to what? Unlock your password to enter into what? A house. So let's create a key pair for the purpose of this class. What's the name of this class? Let's call it AWS KP. Okay, let's leave it at that. AWS KP. So leave it as RSA encrypted private key, leave it at that. Leave it as PEM. In PuTTY, this is another word. PuTTY is another because we are making use of mobile XTEM. The mobile XTEM supports what the PEM file. You understand? Why the PPK, which is the PuTTY key, is supported by what? By PuTTY. PuTTY is also what? Another app or another software that what creates what? An environment for what? For Linux operating system. So we may or may not make use of PuTTY. Just master one. It's the same thing we are doing on both of them. But if I have time, I will also carry us along what? How to make use of your PuTTY. So for now, let's stick with what? Your mobile XTEM. So you leave it at PEM. Just go ahead and create file. Create your key pair. So your key pair is what's created. You see it here automatically. If you just come here, if you click on create key pair. So network setting. Please leave this VPC subnet, no prefer subnet or availability zone. You have just leave it like that. Like the subnet we are creating 255, no prefer. We are not using preference. So whatever server Amazon is creating for us, automatically Amazon is going to what? To put those subnet automatically. Please ensure that this auto assign public IP is on what? Enabled, because that is the IP we are going to use to connect to this server. So firewall. You know, in our computer, we right click on this PC, advanced system settings. We now go to firewall, switch on firewall, switch off firewall for public, private, etc., etc. So this is the firewall on cloud. So on this, we are going to enable what? SSH. SSH is refers to as the what? The secure shell, because it is the secure shell that you will use to connect to your what? To your computer. If you are going to be using other services, like when we are going to be installing web application, I'm going to tell us how to set up web input content inside a website. We are going to be permitting things like HTTP, HTTPS, etc., etc., or IODP when we are going to be spinning up the Windows server, the Windows operating system on cloud. But for now, we are more interested in Linux. We want to securely connect to what? Our Linux server using the mobile XTEM machine. So we are going to use what? Secure shell services. So you allow this. Leave it on allow. Make sure it's ticked on allow. So leave it. Let's go ahead and what? And spin. Leave other details. As time goes on, when we are going to use other service like this advanced setting, the time we are going to use it, I will tell us what to do there. But for now, we want to learn the basic Linux commands. So we just want to be able to connect to this Linux computer we spin up on cloud. You understand? So the only thing we are interested in is we are giving it a name. We selected our operating system, which is Amazon Linux. Then we set up a KP. This is our KP name. I already have one KP in this region before, which is Oregon, which was the one I was using to work before. But so that we can understand, that was why I created this one for us. We have AWS KP, create your KP. Then you have, make sure this one is unenabled. Then security, just leave it like that. Automatically, if you are spinning up Amazon Linux, this one will be automatically ticked. But if it's not ticked, you go ahead and tick it, which is what? Allow SSH traffic from what? Anywhere. So that is it. What again? Just go ahead and click on what? Your launch. So Amazon has created our server for us. View instance. So it's still pending. This one will change to running after it has finished what? Opening. So let's just give it some seconds. So this thing we just pinned up now, this thing as easy as it is, this is what we used almost 2 days to spin up in our Windows Server administration. So you see, cloud has removed, so it has changed to running now. So cloud has removed all those voila to be downloading, installing, waiting for 2 hours before you did, all those stress is what we just did under 2 minutes now on cloud. And that is why if you go outside this free tier, you are going to what? To pay, because the services that what they are providing for you, you pay. And mind you, you have different region. Please take note of this region. I'm spinning up this server on what? On Oregon. This is the region here. Please, you see, if I go to East now, for example, go to East, this server will disappear. This server spinning up now will disappear. You see, there is no instance running because I changed my what? My region. You understand? We have different region, which is, I think in America, they have up to like 5 or 6 data centers. I think in Africa, they are trying to set up one now in South Africa, 1 data center. We have in London, we have in Asia, Pacific Asia. I think we have in, let me see, Asia, Pacific Asia, Mumbai. We have in Osaka. These are where we have what? Data centers. In Europe, we have one in Canada. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Europe. This is in South America. We have one. I think they're trying to set up one now in Africa, which is in South Africa. So if they're able to set up one, maybe Amazon will update their data to make it reflect under this water region. So please, there are times where training will make mistake. They will spin up a server on Oregon, and mistakenly they will not go and change the region to the US East, and they will still expect the server to spin here. If you are not careful, you will forget the server you are spinning up in Pacific Ocean, and your free tire will keep running. Before you know, you will waste your free tire, and Amazon will start charging you after you have exhausted your free tire. So please, ensure you take note of this region. So for the server we just pinned up now, we pinned up in what US was West 2, which is what? Oregon. So let's go back to our region. So we are back to our region now where we have our server running. So this is your Linux server. You can edit the name here anytime you want, you understand? This is it. You can give it any name you want. So let's cancel it. So you tick this box to access the content of this server. This is it here. You tick this box. So what we want to do is this. This is the public IP, you see? Other one we are doing 100.123.124 assigning server. Amazon must automatically give us assign IP to this server we just pinned up on cloud. So this is the server IP. So every user we are going to be creating under this server IP, the next user, Amazon might give it automatically 24.7. The next computer, Amazon might give it 24.9, etc., etc. But everything within the domain of this public server. So let's copy this IP now. So let's go to our machine, search for here, mobile X10. Please, this machine used to misbehave now. I don't know what's wrong with it. So please, it might be going up or on. Just keep opening it until you get what you want. But just follow what we. So we are on now. This is our mobile X10. When you open it, this is what you are going to have. Sorry, this is what I'm saying. To keep opening many in this thing. But just ignore that one. So what you're expected to do is that you go to, you see, it has closed. That's what I'm trying to prevent. Okay, let me open this. Remember we downloaded the mobile X10 and we extract. Probably it's my computer. Okay, now I think it has opened properly now. You understand? So when you open your mobile X10, this is what it looks like. Let me delete this server. These are the servers I was working on before now. Let me delete the session so you have an understanding of how yours will be like in your first opening. So this is what it looks like. So this is our app now, or a software that provides an environment for you to be able to connect to your server. When we created this, this is a server we just created on AWS. We cannot be administering creating user on this place now. No, you need a software that supports that creates an environment for Linux to create your administration. So you come here, you download your mobile X10 on Google. After downloading, you run it, you extract all, and you open the file. So when you open that file, this is what you have. So you go to your session, you create a session for it. Click on SSH. Please click on SSH. Remember on our Linux, while we were trying to set up the server, let me check the security. Let me show you the security. The security we created was SSH. Please don't forget. This is it, and it's on port 22. SSH is on port 22. Let me show you what I meant. Security group. Let me edit in boundary so you are going to see. Okay, no need to edit. Let me just show us. This is it here, SSH. You understand? Which is the secure shell. Is a protocol that supports what? Shell what? Connection. And the content you are using to connect is your what? Your key pair. You understand? And mind you, when you have permission, when you have what? Legal right to connect to this computer, is called what? Secure shell, which is what we are going to do now. We have the right, we have the permission to connect. But if I'm to be what? A hacker, or let me say a Yahoo boy is trying to what? To hack into a server, immediately they have access to your what? Your key pair. Your key pair is very important. You don't share your key pair with anybody except a staff of a what? Of an admin. Not even you're a worker, except that person is a staff of the admin. You understand? That is when you have to share your what? Your key pair. So remember, as a network administrator, security must be your what? Your priority. So your remote host, in this case, you paste your what? Your public IP. This is the public IP. I copied it. Let me go back. Let me go back so I will show us. This is the public IP. Click on details. This is the public IP. I copied this now. You understand? And what I just did, I pasted here. I pasted the public IP here. The specific username, the default username to connect to any what software that provides an environment for Linux operating system is what? EC2 dash what? That's user. Because you are making use of what? Amazon what? Linux. But if you are making use of your what? Your Ubuntu. Remember what we are speaking of? We saw Ubuntu, we saw Red Hat, we saw whatever. If you are using Amazon and Red Hat, your default username of is what? EC2 dash what? User. But if you are using your Ubuntu, your username here will become what? Ubuntu. You understand? You can use Ubuntu or anyone you like. But for easier understanding, let's stick with what? Amazon what? Linux. EC2 dash what? Dash user. This is our what? Our default what? Username. EC2 dash user. Then you come here, advanced SSH setting. Let me see if anybody is joining the class. Okay. Jeremiah has left. Okay. Okay, let's just go on. You come here, you click on what? Settings. Advanced settings. These are advanced settings. You click on it. Here you click on what? Use private key. You click on use private key. Then you come here. You search for the private key. The private key we just downloaded is AWS KP. Please don't open this file and alter the content of this file. So click on enter. You click on open. Then click OK. You see now our machine is going to connect to what? To server. So you see it has connected to your what? To your Amazon. If you connected to Amazon, it will what? It should appear like this. And mind you, because now we have a right to connect to this computer, it's called the secure shell. But if you don't have a right, it's called what? Hacking. So what we just did now is reversed as what? Hacking. But because the difference between normal hacking and what we have done is what? Because this hacking is what? A legal hacking. When it is legal, it's reversed as what? Secure shell what? Connection. With this now, I can access all the content, whatever. We know this one now. The admin has not configured anything on this server. With this secure share now, with this connection, I can do everything in this one, on this server. I have access to everything. I have access to the users. I have access to the file. I have access to the secrets that are stored inside this particular one server. But now, we don't have anything on the server now. We just launched it, so we've not done anything on the server. So that is why when hackers, what hackers do is they get your private key. Of course, your public key is open to everyone. Like Facebook now. Facebook has a public key. You understand? Even available to me and you, we can get access to public key. But the key pair is what nobody has access to. You understand? So when somebody wants to work that, okay, please, can you help me connect to my server? What the person will simply ask you, if you trust the person, you give the person your what? Your key pair. And the person is, okay, give me your key pair and your public IP. You send the key pair through mail or WhatsApp to the person and the public IP. And the person will use it to connect to the server. But for security reasons, you don't share your key pair with anybody. Even you, as a network administrator, when you want to work, the company will not share the key pair with you. So what happens when you leave the company tomorrow, when you're no longer happen with them, and you have access to that key pair? What happens? So what they will do to you is to create an IAM user. We'll get, I think an IAM should be our next class. What they will do to you is to create a user identity and access management, IAM, which we are going to hopefully in our next class. They will create and gives you what? Administrative access, just to be able to have access, administrative access to the what? To the server. So you're able to configure, create user, do what administrator can work and do. And mind you, you will not have access to the private key of the what? Of the organization. Even you as what? A network administrator. So the private key is what? A very what? Confidential file. So here, you use your what? Clear to clear your screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the what? Command line interface, refers to as the what? The Linux operating system. Mercy, are you enjoying the magic?
Yes. Yes,
Sister
sir.
Milela, Sister Nkechi, and Abubakar.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
following. I'm following up.
Yes, I'm following.
Okay. Thank you. So this is what you now create, just like this is your normal computer. Like this, my computer now. Let me just let me minimize this. As this computer is now, you understand? As this computer is now, you understand? This is also my what? My computer. This is a computer on its own. You understand? But it is running on what? Your Linux operating what? System. Now, what we are going to learn today is to understand some basic what? Commands. Like I told us before, let's go back because we are going to be using both. Okay, this Damilola folder. You know what I did? I right click. This is graphical interface. I click on new. Where is it? Okay, sorry. I right click. I click on new folder. You understand? I click on folder. I created this folder. But on our Linux operating system, to create a folder, we make use of what? mkdir. Please, on Linux, we don't call it what? Folder. We call it what? Directory. Please take note of that. So we are not going to use the word folder. We are going to make use of the word directory. On Linux, we make use of your what? Of your directory. Please, not folder. So I'm going to, don't worry, whatever we are doing now, I'm going to send it to us. All those commands we are going to be using. You understand? So that at the end of the day, when you're, the good thing is when you start using Linux, in fact, your command line your graphical user interface will no longer be interesting to you. It will just be the thing will be so sweet for you. So you make use of your what? mkdir to what? To create file. To create directory. Sorry. Okay, sorry. We didn't, Claire. Sorry. So you make use of what? mkdir. What is the file name? Like what we created before was what? Damilola folder. Damilola folder. Because you give it what? A bracket, because you can put it in what? A semicolon, because it is what? A single what? Name. Because if you go, okay, I will tell us the difference. Why I'm putting this what? Colon here. So our folder as what? As created Damilola folder. If you go to list to see what you've created, you make use of the what? LL. Double L. Please, Linux is case sensitive. You understand? LL, small letter LL and capital letter LL is not the same thing. No. Please, Linux is case was sensitive. If you click enter now, you will see it's going to list what? Our folder. This blue icon means what? For the directory or folder. Let me see if you're using the word folder for now. If it's a file, it's going to be what? White in color instead of this blue you are seeing here. So now I've created the folder, Damilola folder. Now let me show us the reason why I put this word quotation mark. If I go ahead and create mkdir, for example, and also okay, Damilola, and I'll say folder, it's going to read this Damilola independently. It's going to read this folder independently. So instead of creating one single folder called Damilola folder, it's going to create two different folders called Damilola and another folder called what? Folder. I hope you understand. So let me go ahead and click enter now. You understand? And let me list now, for example. You see, instead of creating another Damilola folder for us, it went ahead to read this as what? An independent what? Entity. he also went ahead to read this folder as an independent what entity. So thereby, instead of to create a single directory for us called Damilola folder, it went ahead to create Damilola for us and also went ahead to create what folder for us. I hope you all understand. So to create a file, you make use of what mkdir. Don't worry, I'm going to send my notes on Linux command to us. You understand? It's very what explanatory. So this is how to create what a folder on what on Linux. So use clear to clear your what your screen. You understand? But when you list the content we created are still what inside. So you see what you clear. So when you want to, these are basics, you just learn the basic first, because in our next class, your head is going to be very, very hot. Please, so make sure you practice. It's only when you practice this, you'll be able to follow up in the next class. But if you didn't practice what we have been teaching, everything will just look like magic to you, like Messi called it. Please, it's not magic. It is very what easy. You make use of your word touch. Touch is used to create what? A file. Let me say touch Messi, for example. I want to create a file called what? Messi. Or let me say Messi Johnson. Let me create a file called what? Messi Johnson. I click enter. You will see when you list, you type your L, you discover that what I've created what another. This is a file. You see, it is white in color. Because it is white, it tells you that what it is a file. Because it is blue, it tells you that what it is what a folder or what a directory. But if I now go ahead to say touch, to say touch what? Messi space Johnson. Like I told us before, what it will do, it will create what a file called Messi for us, and it also creates another file called what Johnson. But if you quote both of them, it will go ahead to create what this Messi Johnson we just did now. Let's click enter now. Understand? And let's list. You see, it went ahead to create what Johnson. It went ahead to create what Messi separately. So let's clear our screen. Oh, sorry. Okay. So now, how do you put a content, for example, now on my graphical user interface? You know, I've created a file called what? A folder called the Damilola folder. I can open the folder. You know, it is an empty folder. Let me now create a file inside this folder. I will right click, is that not so? I will go to new. I want to create a text document, for example, called let me say Linux documents. You understand? I will right click and click, but here, let's list. Let's see our folders. Okay. To work inside a particular folder, you use the word what? CD, which is what? Change directory. CD means what? Change what? Directory. So now I want to create a folder inside Damilola. I want to create a file inside Damilola. Now what do? You CD, change directory to what? Damilola. You see? So the Linux is telling us now that you are working inside what? Damilola. This is what this means. That everything you are doing now will be what? Kept inside what? The Damilola what? Folder. So CD means what? To change what? Directory to what? To Damilola. For example, here I can create a file touch what? What we created our graphic user interface is what? Is Linux documents. You understand? So here what I will do is to do what? Touch Linux what? Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm coming. Can you also see my screen? Okay. You just touch what? Linux document. Please, mind you use what? The asterisk, the quotation mark, you understand? To close your what? Your command. Touch what? Linux what document. When you click enter, then you list the content inside Damilola. You discover that what we have is your what? Linux what? Documents. You understand? And apart from the L, you can use what? ls dash what L. You understand? This actually tells us what to list the what? The to list in what? In vertical, is it horizontal order, to list it accordingly, line by line. But you can what? There is another one they use, I think is ls LTR also. Sorry, ls dash LTR. You used to list what on a single line. Okay, let's create another file, for example. Let me clear the screen so that we have an understanding. Let's create another file called Abubakar. Or let's just name it Abu. You understand? Touch Abu, you click enter, clear your screen. You understand? Then you list the content. You know, we now have Abu, we now have what? Linux for documents. Okay, if I now say okay, ls-l, it's listing it like this on the straight line. Let me see what ls-ltr will give us. Okay, I think there is one, but those things doesn't matter. I don't. Okay, this ls-l is listing it in what? In alphabetical what? Order. You understand? This ls-l is to list what? All your files in what? In alphabetical what? Order. The ls-what? STLTR is listing it in order of what? Creation. You understand? This was from what? From the first file you created. You understand? You know, the first file we created was linux.doc. So it started our listing from linux.doc to what? Abu. But this one is okay. All the files inside Damilola, please list them for me in alphabetical order. That's why you have this ls-what? -l. So please, those are just different ways you can what? List your what? Your file. So please don't get what? Confused with them. So now let's list the content of Damilola. For example, let's go back to our graphical user interface. Let's put a content inside here now. How do you put a content inside here? What do? You double click now, you understand? When you double click, you can now say, Damilola is a boy. Is that not so? What do? You click what? Ctrl S. You know, now normally to save your file, now here you just click Ctrl S. It saves automatically. Is that not so? You close. So when you open it, you see the content you created. Damilola is a boy. But on your Linux operating system, we use the Vi or Vim or Echo to put a content inside a file. You understand? For example, now I can now say VI Abu, which means I want to what? Edit. I want to edit the content. I want to be able to write a content inside what? Abu file. So when you click what? Enter, it will take you here. You understand? You know, when you want to edit in your graphical interface, immediately the page open to type, you just start typing. But here you have to click what? I. The first thing you will click is what? I, to what? To insert what? Content inside here. So let's see what is happening. It's not permitting us. I think this thing is hanging. Oh. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, sorry, the thing was hanging before. My apologies. I think my network. Please, this thing also works with network with this mobile time. If your network is bad, you see it hanging sometimes. So just wait and give it time. So let me close it. Let me just go back. Let me go back. Escape, quit, shebang, enter. So now let's VI to recall your command. You use your what? Arrow, upper arrow to recall all your command. You see, I'm not typing anything now. Just pressing that arrow. It will be listing all the command I've listed before. You understand? Just be pressing your arrow, all this arrow sign on your computer. You use them to recall your command. So let's VI into Akwe again. You VI into it. So when you VI, you type, you click on your I on your what? Keyboard. You click on I. So the content of this down will change to what? Insert, which means so when you see insert, which means you can now start putting what? Content inside your what? Your file. So let me type what we typed here now. Damilola. Sorry. Damilola is a boy. Damilola is a boy. You know, in our graphic user interface, what we did is what? Control S to save. So please, in this one, it's not like that. So please, it's not magical, messy, please. It's sweet. When you start using it, you will start enjoying it. So to save your content after you have typed, you click on Escape on your computer. You understand? Then click on semicolon. You see it at the bottom. Immediately you click Escape. Whatever you are typing will come to this word to the bottom. You click on semicolon. Right, which is W. Sorry, it's case sensitive, a small letter. Which is your W?
So what do you say we can use to insert when we are in
Use
the view, sir?
I. Just type I on your laptop. Immediately, okay, let me start again afresh. Don't worry,
Okay,
let me
sir.
quit this and start afresh so you will understand. So let me clear my screen. So please, this thing is case sensitive. We'll be very careful. So you clear your screen, okay? Let me VI into what? Abu. You understand? You see what it's giving me? If I'm typing now, okay. You use I to what? To insert. Immediately you type I on your laptop, you will be able to what? To insert. You understand? So when you type I, what do? You type your words, your content. Damilola. You say boy. So to save this content now, you use Escape. You press Escape on your computer. Then you use colon, right, which is W, quit, which is your Q. Sorry, they all have to be small letter Q. You understand? Shebang. Are you following? You click Escape on your computer. Then you click what? Colon. You click right, which is W, Q, which is the quit, and you click what? Shebang. You understand? This sign is what? Shebang. This what do they call this mark? Quotation mark. Is it quotation mark or this exclamation mark? Is what? It's called shebang. You understand? So you click what? Enter. So we have been able to put what? Content inside what? Abu. You know, in our graphic user interface, we just click on the folder. This is Linux doc. You just click on it twice to open this folder. You understand? But here, we like, you know, I told us before, everything is commando. What as far as Linux is concerned, everything you are doing is what? You use command to do everything. To view your what? The content of Abu. Okay, let's see if the content of Abu is even there. You cut the content. Cut is the command that is used. Cut what? Abu. If you click cut Abu and you click enter, you will see the content report, which is what? Damilola is a what? It's a boy. Are you all following? Mr. Dami Abubakar, Nkechi, Messi, are you all following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you use the word cat. Abubakar, are you familiar with this?
Yes, I'm familiar with.
Okay, so you should be the one teaching us now. Abubakar. So use the word cat to catch your content. Okay, for example, and I say, okay, I want to buy into Abu. For example, this is the content of Abu. You click I to what? To edit. You start your what? To editing. For example, I say Abu is a boy and a what? Tall man. Abu is a boy and a what? Tall man. For example. And I say, oh, I'm not supposed to put this content here. I don't want to save this. I've already bought into this. I don't want to save it. What do we do? If you don't, after typing your content, if you don't want to save it, you don't want to alter what is there before. You understand? You use escape, colon, quit, shebang. Instead, you know, when we want to say, we use write and quit, which is W and Q before the shebang. But this time we are not using the W. The absence of the W tells us that what? We are not saving the what? The folder. You know, in a normal graphical interface, you just go ahead and close the file. If you tell you change, you know, it will tell you, okay, for example, now, let me go ahead now. Okay, this is the content Abi. And Damilola is a boy and a tall, and a tall man. I said, oh, I'm not supposed to edit this file. Let me just close it, John. You know, it will ask us, do you want to save? You tell the machine, don't save. But Linux is no food for lazy man. Nothing comes what? Easy. No free food in what? In free time. That is what Linux is telling you. Everything you have to do is what? Command. So instead of using colon, after pressing your escape, colon, right, which is W, Q, which is a quit, shebang, enter. You use your word colon, quit, shebang, enter to tell the computer that no, I don't want to save this alteration inside this Damilola is a boy. I want the file to remain as Damilola is a boy. I don't want to save it. Then click what? Enter. So when you cast the content, you will see that what? We still retain our Damilola is a boy. You understand? But if you want to edit, for example, and we buy into this content, okay, and we say, okay, I want to edit this file. Damilola is a boy, and he what? And a tall man. You go ahead to save, which is what your escape. You go colon, right, quit, shebang, enter. And you cut this content, cut Abu. What do you have? You have Damilola is a boy and a tall man, which is the editing we made inside here. Mercy, are you enjoying it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have to enjoy it. It's a must. Because as time goes on, in fact, henceforth, you will not even be using all those windows. This is what you will be using in your server administration. So please get used to it, because you will be going to a more tedious command where you are going to run a bash file running to 1,000 lines. This time you are just doing via Bukatabuno. You'll be executing a long list of command to achieve a purpose with time. So please, these are just the basic, you understand? Because we use by whatever we have been doing, we still use all those by, cards, shebang, all those things. So those are the basic, you understand? So what if you want to go back there and tell the computer that, okay, let's list the content of Damilola. We have Abu and Linus document inside Damilola. You can tell your computer, okay, I'm done working inside Damilola. I want to work on the other folder we created. You use the word cd space ... It will take you out of the folder you are presently working on. Click what? Enter. You understand? Then you click your words. Let's clear it. Clear. Let's list the contents. You see that it has brought out of Damilola. You understand? You can ask, okay, I'm done working inside Damilola. I want to work inside folder now. For example, you cannot change directory to what? To folder. Sorry. Folder. Click enter. You understand? So when you clear your screen, you know we don't have any file inside folder. When you list, it will show you 0, which means no file has been created. So for anyone now want to go and say, okay, touch a file, create a file called Dami. Inside was folder. When you click it, clear your screen and what? And list. You see Dami has been created. You understand? Let's cut Dami. You know we don't have content inside Dami. Cut Dami. You see that the result will be 0, which means it's what? An empty file. You understand? Nothing, it's not bringing anything. So to put a content, you buy into what? Dummy. You click your enter. Click on your eye. Click on Messi is a girl. For example, Messi is a girl. What do? If you want to save, escape, colon, right, quit, shebang, enter. Then cut dummy now. Let's see if it will bring what? Messi is a girl out. Of course, Messi is a girl. Are we following? Okay. So we've seen the content of what? Of cat now. We've seen what? Messi is a girl. You understand? Messi is what? Is a girl. The content is here. So how do we delete? Let me clear our screen. We are working inside folder now. Clear. even me say I've forgotten this. So let me list first. For example, okay, we have Damilola. How do we delete? For example, you want to delete a file now. You know, in our graphic design interface, you want to delete this now. You just right click, you go to delete, you click delete. Say yes, you delete. The folder will become empty. But here, you have to use what? Magic. Let me be using the word magic so that will be scary messy. So how do you delete? It's been long I use this. Let me see. Because I hardly delete files. Let me see. Abubakar, can you help us?
I think RM, then the dash R, then the file name.
Okay, let's do it like this. Let's see if it will remove. Remove dummy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's list.
okay, this one is working.
So it works. You understand?
Yeah.
So to remove the
Yes,
file, you use what? RM, then it was the file name to delete it. Okay, what about if you want to remove what? Directory. Let's go back. See the dot to go back to the what? To the previous directory. Let's list now. Okay, we are back. Now, what if you want to remove Damilola? Mind you, Damilola, okay, let's change directory to Damilola. Let's change directory to Damilola. Okay. Let's list the content of Damilola. Okay, Damilola has Abu and Linux inside. Okay. Change directory. We are going back now, please. I just want to see if Damilola has a content. So let's go back now. Okay. For example, we want to remove Damilola. How do we do it, Abubakar?
So use Damilola RM -- R.
Okay, Damilola. Wait, you are the one teaching us now. Damilola. Is it like
no,
this?
No.
Okay.
RM first. RM
RM,
dash R.
R,
Then Damilola. So okay, yes, Damilola, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, yes, that.
Remove Damilola. Okay, it's removed Damilola. I think that is a good one. I've not seen this before. Oh, that is a good one. You can also use remove directory. RMDIR. You know when you want to make directory, you use what? MKDIR, make directory. But when you are removing directory, you can also use what? RMDIR. And this one, Abubakar just taught us now. RMDIR, let me remove folder. This folder, for example, the folder directory, and click enter. Let's list. So it also remove all the folder. Thank you, Abubakar. That is a good one. So on Linux, there are things that you will discover yourself that me, I don't even know. You understand? That is just the cheat. When you begin to practice to troubleshoot, there are things you will be discovering yourself that I may not and will never even know. You understand? So Linux is so robust. It is bogus. It is robust. You understand? So no, you cannot know it all. I'm sure even the guy that designed Linux does not even know anything and everything in what he designed. You understand? At least know the one that is useful to the services you are rendering. Be perfect in them. That's what we are saying so far. I don't even know RM dash arrow is used to remove directory. So what I've been using all this way is RM DIR. You understand? So that is a good one. That means Abubakar. That is a good one. Oh, so that is the basic. What else again? What else? Creating file, touch file. Okay. Like if you want to go to the content to your roots, you want to see the root of your computer. You understand? You use the word sudo su, which means that what you want to go to the roots. You know, this AC2 is a user, you're a user now. That's an user, you want to go to the root of your computer, where you have a lot of what software, you have a lot of application currently running in the background. You use your word, your sudo su, you click enter. So you are working from your what? Your root now. Current working directory, slash. You understand? See this slash, it means your work. You want to work from your root. You don't want to work as what? EC2 user. You want to work as what? A root user. See this slash. You understand? So you use the word, see this slash. You click enter. So when you list the content of your root, you have a lot of what? Applications. These are applications. You understand? Folders, already existing folder, or more like an application running inside your root. You understand? when you want to install it, well, eventually you install your website application. There is some of them, I think, installed inside the var. I will tell you the use of each and this application as time goes on. Your software application is stored inside the var. For example, your processes is stored inside C. When you create your user, it's stored inside your what? Your home, etc., etc. Let's change directory. Change directory to home, for example. Now change directory. Oh, don't worry, we are going to be using each and every one of them. You know, depending on the services we'll be teaching ourselves as time goes on. Change directory to home. You list your home. You have your what? EC2 user. So that EC2 user you created while you were trying to log into the what? The server via this mobile extend, this software. It is stored inside your what? Your home. This is where it is stored. And to access your home, we use sudo su, then change directory to your what? Your home list. To get which directory you are working from, print working what? Directory. PWD means what? Print working what? Directory. Just to tell you, okay, I want to know the directory I'm working from. You just enter it. It tells you you are working from your what? From your home. You understand? So if I want to go back, use cd ... You go back, which means you are now what? Out of your what? Your home directory. I hope you all understand. So clear your screen. CD means current directory. I'm out of the home. Now I want to work as what? As a root. When you list, sorry, CD slash. Okay. When you use CD, for example, you understand? And you click enter. Let me tell you something now. You know, there is a difference between CD and CD slash. The CD slash means you want to see all the contents that is embedded inside your what? Your computer, all the operating system, all the memory, everything, the user that are created, the processes, everything is embedded inside this CD slash. Slash means what? Change directly to your what? Your roots. Which means you want to see the root of your computer, the skeleton of your computer. Everything is embedded inside this place. So when you list, what you're going to be seeing are what? These are the skeleton of your computer. Everything you're going to be doing inside the server, everything they are going to be stored inside this place. All these folders you are seeing, you know, depending on the application, automatically it will save. So as time goes on, you will understand which and which what application is going to what, which and which what directory. You understand? Like even your etc, you know, when we change directory to home, we're able to see our EC2 user. Even our etc also what else is the user. Okay, let's change directly to what? etc. You click enter. Let's clear our screen, for example, and you list the content of etc. There is a folder called pass.wd that also houses our user. Let me search for it. Okay, this is it here. Pass.wd, but it was supposed to be a folder, not a file. I'm coming. I'm going to cut it and see the content of this pass.wd. Coming. We change directly to etc. It was supposed to be a folder, not a file. But it doesn't matter because the content is still staying in your home. Let's cut it and see the content of pass.wd. Okay, and let me clear our screen. Sorry. Cut pass.wd. Okay, this is the content of our pass.wd. The pass.wd is used to reveal if you have a group. You know, like in our Windows Server administration, when we created the domain, we created a group called accounting group also, and we're able to create user inside that group. This pass.wd houses all the user. You understand? This is our EC2 user now, for example, is inside here. You understand? This is the ID number, the identification number of the what? Of the user. You know, if we create another user now, we are going to see it. We are going to create user before the end of this class. That is the next thing we are going into. So I just want us to understand this. So the pass.wd is a what? Is a file that houses what? All your user. The group, the user, everything is housed what? Inside here. So let's go back, cd ... because we are not working inside here. So let me clear my screen. Understand? Let me list. It's going to show me this. Okay. Mind you, we are working from your roots now. If you want to get out of your roots, you understand, to go to your EC2, what do? You use what? Logout. Okay, it's asking us to use exit. Okay, that means for this one, in Ubuntu, I used to use logout. Use exit. Exit, which means what? You are now working from your what? From your EC2 back. Now we are back to where we were working from initially. You know, when we left this place, we use sudo what? Su to enter into what? Our root. This is what? A root command. The sudo su is what? An administrative what? Command. So we use what? Sudo su to get to the content of what? Of our root, the root of this what? Computer. So now we are back to what? EC2 user. So what if we want to create what? A user now? You understand? For example, I am an administrator. I'm able to walk into this in this computer now. Now I want to create a user. You know, in our computer, your Windows Server administrator, what we just did, we go to our Active and Directory users and computer. We right click, new, we created user, etc., etc. But in this one, we use the word what? Abubakar, you are going to be our second lecturer. How do we create a user? You forgot it. You don't use that job account. You use what user add. Don't worry. You use user add. Then the name of the what? User. Suppose if we want to create Messi as a user, we use your what? User add what? Messi. Please bear in mind, Messi will be kept inside home, inside our roots, inside home, the home file. When you click enter. Okay, sorry, it is what? It is a root command. Sorry, the permission will be denied. Sorry. You know, any other person cannot just come to your server and start creating user. So you are going to use the root command, which is a what? Sudo. Please, sudo means what? Superdo. The superdo is what? An administrative what? Command. So there are some commands you will enter as EC2, you know, accept. Except you put sudo. You understand? Or if you don't want to put sudo, you change your directory to what user. Okay, let's do something now. We use sudo what? Messi as our user. Sorry. And Messi. Sorry. Sudo user add. Sudo user add Messi, which means we want to create what? Messi as what of our user. We click enter. You understand? We have created what? Messi as our what? As our user. Let me clear this now. You understand? We have created Messi as a user. And you know, there is no way in networking you will create a user without creating a password. How do you create password? You use what? Password, WD. What is the person's name? Messi, which is the user. Pass WD Messi. You click enter. Okay, only the root can satisfy you. Sorry, I'm always forgetting this. Let me clear my screen, please. As how you are working from EC2, this is an administrative task. You have to use what? The sudo command. Sudo pass WD Messi. You click enter. You see, it's asking us to change your password for Messi. Please, I'm going to type a password. Now that's why you say Linux is secure. You don't see the password when typing a password on Linux. Please take notes. You don't see the password. For example, let me use January as the password. You see, I'm typing now, but it's not showing. I click enter. Okay, password is shorter than 8 characters. Okay, it's not long enough. It's asking me to reply no typeword. Okay, let me just type anything here. So I've typed the password. Sorry, password do not match. New password. Okay, let me enter it again. Okay, it's asking me to retype password. I've retyped. You see, I'm typing the password, but it's not showing. That is why we say initially I told us that Linux is what? Is secure. You see now, it's telling me now that pass WD, all authentication token updated what? Successfully, which means for me to change my user to Messi, I've been able to create a password for Messi. So if Messi wants to log into our system, she needs this password now I just created to log into our what? To be able to access what? To have access to this server when she's trying to join the domain of this particular server on cloud. I hope you all understand. Now, if you don't want to be putting sudo user add, there is another way to do it. You change the directory to what? Sudo su, which means what? You change the directory to what? So root, sudo su is a what? A root command. So now we are now inside the root, which means you cannot create another user. User add, for example. You see this one we go now because we are now working from the root. User add Abu, or let me use my name. User add accuracy. Enter. You see, unlike before that I was telling us we don't have permission because we are not working from the root, except we use what the sudo command. Now I cannot create my password for accuracy, pass WD. Accuracy, I click enter. It's asking me to enter the password. Now I'm typing the password, but it's not showing. That is why we say Linux is what? Is secured. You click enter, it's asking me to type the password. I'm typing, but the password is not showing. You see, I've been able to create what? Password for what? For accuracy. You understand? So now I want to go back. This is home. Now let's list the content of the home. You will see these are the people we created. Accuracy. We just created accuracy. We just created what? Messi. This is the default username we created while we are trying to what? To log into this server from what? Our mobile XTEM. So like I said before, there are hours inside the what? The home. So let me clear this and see where we got this from. When you, sorry, see this slash, which means this means you want to enter into the content of the root, the folders inside the roots. You click this. You see, which means we are now working from the root. When you list, you see all those home whatever. Then change directory to home. Enter. So let me clear my screen and list. You will see the users we created now. List. You see them. You can now see accuracy. You can now see EC2 user. You can now see what? Messi. You understand? Now, I want to switch my user. Okay, let me exit this and go back to my EC2 user. Exit. It's going back to my EC2 user now. Clear. Now, I want to work as what? As Messi. You know, we created user, we created Messi, we created Abu. Is that also? You could use the word switch user, which is SU. Switch user to what? Messi. Please, all those commands we have been doing, I will send the note to us. I have an existing note on this. So that when you are practicing, you look at the note too, and the video while you are watching, you are practicing at the same time. Switch user to what? Messi. You click enter. It's asking me for the password I created then from passwd Messi. Now I will now enter that password. You see, now I am working as what? As Messi. Current directory, change it to current directory and click what? Enter, which means everything I'm doing is what? Inside what? Messi. So I need to change my directory to Messi because if I go ahead to just work, it's asking, okay, you are working on Messi. But this is telling me that everything you are doing will be saved inside EC2. And I'm telling that no, I want to change my directory to Messi. I don't want what I'm doing to be inside EC2. I want everything I'm doing to be inside what? Messi. I'm going to show us what happens here. For example, let me now make directory mkdir. Let me June. For example, now June, enter. And I list. You see, we now have June inside what? The Messi directory. Okay, let me go back now. This is home. Or let me just exit. Now I'm working as EC2 user. Let me switch over to Messi now, for example, that we just did now. Messi password Osmolo 86. Okay. Now we have Messi working inside what? EC2 user. If I didn't use this CD command, everything that Messi will be doing will be kept inside EC2 user. For example, mkdir, let's create a folder called what? July now. You see? mkdir, July. Create directory July. Permission what? Denied. What is happening? Coming. We are working from this sudo. Okay. You know, it's only an administrative task. For example, we have Damilola, and we have Messi. Damilola cannot create a file. For example, the company wants to be finding out, who created this file. We want to what? Sanction the person. And then I go to Messi, and they saw that Messi created the file. And that Messi will say, I didn't create any such file. Why? Because the admin has given access to Damilola to create a file instead of what? EC2 user. So the sudo, like I told you before, is a super do. It's only what? Administrative task. So if such cases happen, the admin will be very responsible because it is only an admin that can perform this function. So as an admin, you use the sudo what command? Sudo mkdir July. Let's see it will run. So it's asking now for the password. Okay. Messi is not a sudo R. Oh, I think I'm missing something here. Messi is not in the sudo as file. The incident will be reported, okay? I think we need to add them to bed. Please mark this today. It is wrong. I would have added this Messi, added this. I will show us how to add, give permission to add our user to a sudo R. Please, you know, when you give user the sudo power, which means you have given them a lot of what? Administrative access to be able to access a lot of things. Please be very careful. It is not necessary to add all user to become a sudo R. You know, when we get to permission, how to assign permission to file, folder, user, and group, I'm going to tell us how to make what our user to become what? A super what? Doer. Please, Messi is not a sudo R for the sake of this word practice. So in this case, if you want to work at Messi, please kindly change your directory to what? To Messi, CD. Messi as a user, you click enter. So all the files you are creating under Messi will be inside what? Messi. mkdir July. I didn't spell July, right? July. So we have your June folder and your July folder inside what? Messi. Please, I don't want to rush us too much with this permission command. Is I think that one should even be in the next 3 classes that we'll get here. So please, let's just stick to this for now. How to switch user, all those commands, the sudo. The sudo command means what? You want to work as a root user. You understand? And CD slash means I want to see all the content inside your what? Your root. You understand? This is it here. Now have your home, you have your whatever. So CD to what? Current what? Directory. PWD, print working what? Directory. It tells you your directory, you are working from home. Like I told us before, the message we created is saved inside what? Home. And your home access the what? The Messi. And Messi asks what content, which is the what? June and July folder. If you want to work inside July, you change directory to what? July. You see, so it's a long chain, etc., change directory to July. You are now working inside July. You want to create a file. Touch what? October, for example, OCT. You have your file inside what? July. When you list your what? July, you have this. So the current directory means you are working from root. This slash means root. Please, when you see slash, beginning was a part. It means what? Root. This is a part. Now, what the part of this what? October. This is the part for this October. Inside the roots, we have the home. Inside the home, you have Messi as a user. Messi now have what? July, a July folder inside. Then July folder, where we now list it, we have our what? Our October file inside. So to work inside our October file, if you have any content, you catch what? October. You know, we don't have any content, you come out as nothing, you understand? So to put a content inside our October, what do? You VI into it. VI OCT. Please, there's another command apart from VI. You can Vim. I think it's Ubuntu that use Vim. Let me see if it accepts. Vim OCT, VIM. Okay, it accepts it. So you can use Vim. You can use Nano, they are what? Text editors. VI, Vim, Nano, they are what? Text editor. So I'm not putting any content here. So I'm going to what? Quit Shebang, enter, because there's no content here now. Let's use Nano and see. If Nano, we also what? VI into this. However, are you familiar with Vim Nano? Okay.
Yes, I know about, I think Vim and Emac, but I don't know about Nano.
Okay, Nano, let me see.
And sir, instead of typing clear every time, just be using Control. It will clear. It's going to do the same work.
Okay. Thank you very much on that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much on that. Okay. And get up, write out where is Nano, cut test, justify, cop, undo, mark test, copy test, spell test, write out this. This is well with us. Okay. You use Ctrl+C to get out of this. I'm coming. Our contents.
Sir, try Control X, I think.
Control X. Okay, yes, Control X. Okay, yes. Control X. I think this Nano works for Ubuntu. This Nano text editor, it works for Ubuntu. You see where it takes us to now? It takes us to an unknown location that we don't even understand. So please, it works for Ubuntu. So please, let's take note of that. We can only use the Vim and the VI to what? To edit our text. So the VI Nano, they are Linux what? Text editor. So depending on the word distribution you are using, if you are using Ubuntu, you use Nano. If you are using Linux and Red Hat, you use VI or the Vim. So do we have any question? Damilala, Messi. Nkechi. Hello, Damilala, are you there? Oh, let me mute yourself. No, I'll muted you, Damilala, your network is bad. So I think I don't want us to stress our head too much for today. So it's important we need to go and learn the basic word command. So while you are practicing, learn this basic command, because if you don't know how to edit, create ordinary folder on Linux, how will you be able to deploy applications? Because when deploying application, we are going to be editing a lot of default command to suit our desired results. So please take note of that. So Messi, do we all understand? Oh, we have not been recording, no.
No.
Okay, we have been recording. Okay, we have been recording.
I think we've been recording.
We've been recording now. Fear catch me. So we've been recording. So do you understand, Messi? Do you understand what we have been doing?
Yeah, so I think I became a little lost when you started the Nano something.
They are just text editor. You know, I told her if you want to edit a file, you use VI. I'm coming. My network is angry. This thing is not responding. Let me just wait for it.
Okay.
You might encounter the same issue when you're practicing. Just give it time. VI OCT. So you see, we're able to what? To VI, which is a text editor, into this word file. You understand? So if you use Vim, you see what? Achieve the same what? Result. Like now, let me use Vim, for example, OCT. It's still the same thing. So and on Linux, every alphabet counts because you want to save time. So why type Vim when you can use VI? So every second matters on what? On Linux as a server administrator, because you want to save time. So time is of what? SS. So if you have a shorter way of running your command, it is important you use it. So please take note of that. I think we are going to stop here for today. So please, in our next class, we are going to be looking at IAM, identity and access management. Because as a network administrator, your company that you want to work for will not, I repeat, they will not give you the key pair of the organization. What happens when you leave the organization? So they are going to create what? An identity for you in the company and create an administrative what? Give you administrative access. You understand? In the company. That's what they are going to create for you. So we look at that and we look at what one or two things we're also going to do on Linux. We look at what? Permissions on Linux. All these files that we are using, you understand? VI, October, all those things. We will create a file called July. Messi is able to open, edit. You understand? So we are going to look at permission. You know, on our Windows Server administration, we give permission by just, you see read write by just clicking. But this one, we are going to use command to ensure that what the users are able to what? Delete the file. If we want them to what? To be able to have full control over the file, or we want to give them access to only read. We want to make sure that Messi is only able to look at the file, but we don't want them to tamper with the content of the file because they are what? Confidential, the official file that must not be tampered with. But at the same time, we want to give them access to see the content of the file. That's what we are going to be studying as permission. All this file we are creating. For example, I want to create company password. For example, let me find where into this. October. Inside this October, I want to put the company password is Amarachi. You understand? And what do? I go ahead to what? To save this. You understand? And okay, I want to share this file with all the users inside this world that are connected to this domain. So what happened? What if Messi is the user? Messi was able to buy into this content. We are into October and say, oh, that my Ogabi. And like I say, I go show and pepper. He never pay me last month's salary. Make I change the password of this. From Amarachi, make I change them to Tinubu Balablu. Sorry for Tinubu supporters in the house. Please. Messi, are you supporting APC?
God forbid.
So what happened? If Messi say this my guy don't pay me salary, I'm going to alter the password and change it to something else. Where we say nobody goes sabi again. And she goes ahead to now come and say, I'm changing it to what? To this. And then she now go ahead to click escape, save this file that was supposed to be a confidential file and save it. And when maybe you as an administrator, you now come and say, okay, I think where I saved the password for the company is inside October. And I say, let me cut the content of my October. You understand? And I discovered that from Amarachi, they that time change the password to what? To Tinubu Blue. And all the users will be logging in and say, we can't log in with the password that has been changed. Who altered the password of the organization? We will now be looking. So we are going to give permission to this file so that when Amarachi creates this file and she wants to save, she will be told that she doesn't have permission to alter this file, that she should contact the administration. Of course, Messi will not be that dull to go and be the admin and say, please give me this company confidential file. Can you give me permission to be able to read, write, and delete? I'm going to ask you what for. You want to delete it, you want to have access to a confidential file, of course, it is not done anywhere. You understand? So the reason for this permission is to us to understand that this user are only able to have access to the permission we have them to access. To execute, if it's an application, we give them permission to execute. Where we are going to be running application. Please, we are going to install application. We are going to run application in our next 2 classes or so. If you have chance in our next class, we also do it. But this permission shouldn't be much. I think we'll do it alongside running a lot of application, web application on our server. So please, permission, we are studying permission on CLI in our next class. Like now, if I come here now, for example, I'm coming. This is a folder I created, that Milola folder. How can I go? Okay, let me delete. If this folder was created under what? A server, for example, now, and I want to give access, I will just come here and say, give access to specific people. You understand? I will just come here and click. For example, if this is server now, I will put the person's name. Let me say the person's name is what? Kachi, for example. I will tell the server, okay, add this user. Windows unable, because this is not, we are not working from the server. That is why you please. So the server will appear here. Under this permission level, you will now see read, write, execute. You understand? You will not be the one to assign permission to one cache, for example, that is accepting that particular word folder, this Damilola folder. But on Linux, we use your word, your command to give a permission. You're not going to see it like you're seeing it in your graphic user interface. Like I told you before, Linux, everything you're doing from A to Z is what? Is command line what? Interface. You use what? The command. Oh, my app is misbehaving again. So please, this app just works in response to your network, please. If your network is not good, this app too will be what? Will be hanging. So please take note of that. So I think we are done with that now, please. Next week, we are going to study what? Permission and what? Identity what? Management. Identity and access what? Management. So those are the two classes we are going to study by next week. Identity and access management and what? And permission on what? On Linux. So please, it is very, very what? Important. Because when you click on Messi now, for example, let me list this. So this is Messi. Okay, this is the process ID. It's telling me the process ID of this particular what? File. So, okay, it's ITR support dash LTR. So this is it. It's telling this is the for the user. You understand? This RW, please. It means something, you know. It means the number of files is what? One. One person have ownership of this particular file called October, which is what? Messi. Messi is the owner. I'm also going to show us how to change ownership. You understand? For example, Messi is a member of our account, and Messi is the account head. And there is an important file that is only accessible by what? By the head of the account. So what happens when Messi leaves the organization? And probably maybe Damilola now becomes the head of the account. What do? You change ownership of that particular file from Messi to what? To Damilola, who is now the new what? Account what? Head. So as time goes on, we are going to understand when we get to our next class, those permission, changing ownership, identity management on cloud. So those are the things we'll be what? Looking at. So please, this one means what? This is for user. This first one is for what? User. It means this user can read and write, which is Messi. You understand? This is group permission. The second one is for group. You understand? Which means any group that Messi belongs to, you understand? That group can read and write on this content called what? October, which means they can delete this folder, this file, create things inside it, etc., etc. Why read is for what? Others, which means anyone outside Messi or outside the group that Messi belongs to, whoever or whichever person is accessing this folder called October will only have access to read and not able to what? To edit the content of this what? File. That is what it means. So as time goes on, we understand these are what? Permissions. This is read, write, read, write, read, write. When it becomes to the what? Application, you are going to see RWX, which is execute. If you are running application, it becomes RLW what? X. The X means what? Executes. You know, this is just a file that nothing to execute. But if it's what? An application we are trying to run, you see execute on it. So we give permission as an admin to read, write, and what? And execute. So it's not a magic. When you just go and learn those basic, the touch, make directory, create user, sudo, su, cd, all those things, we are just play around with it. You understand? As you're playing around, you do mistakes. Sometimes you will hang. Like 30 minutes, you might be trying to get out, but as time goes on, when you watch the video, you'll be able to come out, get in of all the directory and all the rest. And with time, you'll become what? Perfect with usage. So you see, Linux is not for lazy man or lazy woman. You have to practice, you have to know it. You see, like some things I forgot now. I started asking Abubakar because I have not used some of them for long. If you leave Linux, it's going to leave you as well, just like your book now. You leave your book will leave you. So please, thank you very much, everybody. We have Nkechi online. We still have Abubakar, Damilola, and Messi. So thank you all for your time. So do you have any question? Damilola, do we have any question? Abubakar, any question? Message.
No question. No question.
Damilola, is it your phone or your network?
No question. Oh,
I've been telling Mr. Damilola his phone. His phone is, I think it should be his phone also. So please make sure, it pains me so much that after sending the video, some videos 2 weeks, when I'll be expecting like 12 people to watch. You know that I watch some of our classes and see if there's any addition I needed to make in the next class or if there's any error. Of course, I'm not perfect. I'm also learning. Some of these classes, I should sit down and watch them from beginning to the end. You will not believe this class that I'm taking now. You understand? I still sit down and watch them. Sometimes at 12 o'clock, I will still be on watching videos. You understand that I'm practicing. So you just have to create time. All right, so you just learn it, you forget everything. And when you want to prepare for your AWS certificate, I've not written my certification exam till now. Why? Do you know why? Because I'm still reading. Because I don't want to go and waste, is it $150? To go and dash AWS $150 and fail it. As I mean, I can go for the exam now, but I still want to make sure I can. So by June, like me now, by June, I'll be writing my certification exam. You understand? And I want to write your exam together, the AWS and the DevOps. I'll be writing the DevOps certification exam together. I might be writing the two self on the same day or probably 1 week interval. So that's why I'm just taking my time. So please make sure you read. Like my trainer will tell me then that you have to create 30 hours in a week. And that is just for you to be perfect in Linux and other services, for you to be good in what you are doing AWS so far. You have to read at least 4 hours every day. Like what I did most times, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. If I didn't do it in the morning, that is what keeps me awake till midnight at times, 4 or 5 hours. So that's just a good time. When you are studying, watching IT, any video on IT, do you know that if the video is 30 minutes, you spend almost 2 hours to watch the video because you pause, you practice what the trainer is saying. You understand? So a video of 30 minutes can take you 4 hours to even finish. So you just have to create time. I know every one of us, we are busy with work. So please, I want us to create time and practice this. And I want a situation where by December, some of us are already earning 13 figures from this. Is it not possible? 13 figures, billionaire. In Naira, I'm not saying in dollar. Please, don't misquote me. It's in Naira. Biko. So even when the most is not any 13 figures. So they're all billionaire in dollars. So please, let's just try and practice it. So try and watch. If there's anything, please, like I told us, please give us a graphical troubleshooting of your error just now and post to the group. Please, I will advise you send to the group instead of me personally so that others that are facing the same issue can also learn from your problem in case they encounter such. So that, like I told us before, we're supposed to be using Slack. I don't know why I forgot to even tell us to create Slack so that I can send us the community link. We want to create a community on Slack. What we'll be using. So get used to those software. So those IT communities, please. Abubakar, you're on Slack, right?
Yes, I'm on Slack now.
Okay, yes. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to end the meeting now. So see you guys same time next week, 10 a.m.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Amarachi, hope it's not magic again, Abby.